Nick, I didn't expect you to come down, Nick. I'm so sorry. Oh God, what have I done?
Make it 2 seasons in a row.
Hi, I'm Nick Crawford. This is Season 2 of The Long Run.
Hey guys, I'm Tyler Dengler, driver of the number 19 Fletcher's Florist Street Tundra for Larson Line Racing.
I'm Josh Cannata, driver of the number 16 Casemate Toyota Tundra for Reveline Racing.
I'm Noah Steele. I'm driver of the number 8 machine for Armadillo Racing.
My name's Ethan Smith, driver of the 00 Blackjack Racing.
Dakota Moniz, driver of the number 5 Hot Laps Design Chevy Silverado for Larson Line Racing.
I'm Cody Reed.
Hey, my name's Ollie Fonseca, driver of the number 24 Hot Lap Designs Chevy Silverado on the ISRC Truck Series.
My name is Christopher Norris and I drive the number 38 Ford F-150 for Snowy Desert Racing.
Okay. Let's see how this goes.
Welcome to Season 2 of The Long Run. What got you into racing and iRacing?
I got introduced to racing at a very early age. My dad was the one that got me into it. He would have all the races on each and every week. He would have practice, qualifying, happy hour, all 3 series. It didn't matter. It was on the TV. It was nice to be able to talk about the race with my dad each and every week and watch the race, talk about what we saw. It's definitely one of those things that I cherish growing up. One of the memories I have of him that I definitely love. Thank my dad for getting me into it, because without him I may not have gotten into it.
I've just kind of been into it my whole life. My dad was into it as well, always worked on cars and stuff, so that just kind of went down with me as well.
I've always been a fan of NASCAR ever since I was a kid. My whole family are NASCAR fans, all different drivers. First race I remember watching was the Pocono race with Steve Park and Dale Jr. when they had that really bad crash. I remember the Dale Erhardt incident. I think back to 2001, 2002 was probably the first seasons I can actually recall. As far as iRacing goes, I'd always been a fan of the EA Sports games. Then I eventually got into the Codemasters titles, some other IMSA and GT titles. But it really got started in Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo 5, I was in a league with a bunch of guys. We ran every Saturday, every Sunday with NASCARs on like custom short tracks and all this other stuff. And one of them introduced me to iRacing back in 2016, and I fell in love with it. And here we are many years later, and many purchases later as well.
And with iRacing, I've known what it is for a long time. Just never really had a PC, so I just played console games and stuff like that. But during quarantine, some opportunities opened up. I was able to get hooked up with a monitor and PC. I was really running on a really bad laptop for a little bit, so finally got that PC upgrade, and it really shot things off.
We got into iRacing about 2017, 2018. Watched a few guys on YouTube. Jeff Fabiano, watched a few of his videos and some other guys, and knew it was something that I really wanted to get into. Always kind of knew about it beforehand, but I just never had the means, didn't have the equipment. But we were finally able to get the equipment, the PC and all that, and got the subscription, and iRacing's been taking my money ever since. But I love it. It's definitely been a positive and has introduced me to a lot of awesome people throughout my life. So without iRacing, wouldn't have met these people. So I thank them for that as well.
Through a good buddy of mine, Tanner Johnson, who happens to be our team owner as well. Started early 2019, I think, is whenever I started up on iRacing. Bought one of the lower end Thrustmaster wheels. I think it was the Ferrari 458 Italia edition. And started racing with that early 2019. Maybe it was more late 2018 into early 2019. And just started racing, you know. It was, I had known about it since I was a kid playing NR 2003, but just never could. I was a kid, so I couldn't afford the equipment. Couldn't convince my mom to buy the equipment for me, and it was just never something that was possible for me to get into. Nor did I have the computer for it either. Never something I could get into until got older, and yeah, it's been enjoying it ever since. It's been fun.
That's amazing how you got into iRacing, but how did you get into the ISRC Truck Series?
Well, my teammate Kyle Tate actually introduced me to it. He showed me a few of the streams and the long run as well, and I was always looking for a truck league because that's usually what I ran, and I couldn't be happier with it. These are a great group of guys and very, very fast, very competitive, and it's a lot of fun every week.
And I found the ISRC Truck Series through, I think Race Car Graveyard had a post on it, story or something on Instagram, so I messaged and got some info on it. I thought it was something that, it had some growth, an opportunity for it, just with the people who were involved. And the league just seemed very competent what they were doing at the start of it. And it's just something I've been there for through all of it. And it's been pretty cool to see it grow through the years. I mean, we had some moments, and then, we've been involved with their top 10 finishes of the month and stuff like that. So that's been super cool. And just watching the followers grow, on the Instagram page, the Twitter, and everything like that. And it's just a product of what we put out every week. Sometimes the races are a little bit but most of the time we have a lot of good finishes, a lot of great people involved, a lot of talent, a lot of competition, so it's cool to be here every week.
Discovered the Truck Series through the same avenue, through good buddy Tanner Johnson. Admittedly, we did not get off on the right foot, meaning myself and the league. There was a little bit of bad blood there, a little bit of history, but managed to put that behind us, and obviously have a great relationship with Tyler and Martin and Morris, Jacob Morris. Having been an admin last season, and it's honestly it's the most fun I've had league racing since joining the service. It's been enjoyable to just be a driver, these past 3 seasons. Obviously, like I said, it was an admin last season, and that was something I had done before, so I figured I'd try to do it again. But it's been a lot of fun, and I'm glad we stumbled upon it.
We found the ISRC Truck Series by racing in another league. We had quite a few of the league members, past, present, and a few of the admins as well. We all raced together in another league on Tuesday nights, and we were just not liking how it was being ran. We got quickly tired of that, and a few of the guys got together, talked about what they wanted out of a league, and we wanted more of a driver's league, that's for sure. And they started up the ISRC Truck Series, and it's been going strong ever since, 4 seasons strong.
Hey Cody, what has it been like to watch the league grow from season 1 all the way to now season 4?
So being a driver, ever since season 1, I've seen major improvements in the competition in the field. Starting out season 1, domination by a couple guys. Mark Whitley.
It's gonna be the 77, Mark Whitley, winning here at Eldora.
Almost four. Look at it, it's it. No, it's Dora! Dora got it! By unknown! Or no, Mark Whitley!
Oh my goodness! Mark Whitley getting the win and getting his 3rd win of the season.
World's fastest at mile. And I'll tell you who's been the fastest. It's been the 77 of Mark Whitley. He rounds through 3 and 4 and gets another victory here at the ISRC Truck Series.
Vincent Sora.
We move up to the lead. It's Vincent Sora out of turn 4, getting the checkered flag, winning, locking himself into the playoffs. Vincent Sora looking, it will grab his 2nd win of the season. Oh no! Mark Whitley got 1, and no! Across the line, it looks to be the drivers coming across, checkered flag, that's it, they're wrecking even further back. It's Vincent Sora with the win. The line, Vincent Sora getting your win at the Cannata K9 125. Congratulations on his 5th win of the season. Your 1st season for the NAISCC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series. It is going to be Vincent Sora, your champion, here at the Southern Sports Media Championship race at Atlanta.
They kind of just won pretty much every race that season, with a few exceptions. But as the seasons have progressed, we've gotten more and more winners.
Coming around, it's going to be Kyle Rochelle. Door banged into the wall. Further now, it's John Forbes leading the way. Logan Breakey with a little bit of a surge. The 11 broke down, comes across the line and wins. How in the world? John Forbes, out of nowhere, he survived the wrecks, the scars, the bruises. He wipes it all clean and out of turn number 7. The Battle of the Goats, 135. He can drift it out because he's going to be a winner at the Glen for the NAISCC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series. Sam still staying in the throttle, out of turn 4. Your hot lap designs 225 goes with the fuel strategy run. Eric Sam wins here at Hot Atlanta. it down low. There's still a little bit of live traffic to worry about. The 2 gonna go high, but here comes Trent Jump to the inside. That's the run, but not close enough. Danny Clapper takes the win by just that of a nose over Trent Jump. Now this go around, they hold strong into turn 3. Ethan Smith, he just needs to hold on. Don't hit the wall, and you'll find yourself in the victory lane. He's good, he's low, and he wins at the concrete again. It's Ethan Smith who will become a first-time winner. Will it be GT Rizzari with so many woes, so many late blocks and being pushed around? Or will it be Trevor Erhardt, the bad luck, the misfortune? The 41 is doing his best, running down that of GT Rizzari. He's got one more chance. He's not close enough. He's got to get the better run. Here comes that of Erhardt to the outside. Any type of run possible, it's not going to be good enough. GT Rizzari's going to get it win for himself, but at turn number 4 for season 2, the rookie Trent Jump gets the championship.
Season 3, we had quite a few guys winning their first races, like Norris won his first race.
As for the lead was made, we're going to have a lap car. Late block audio to Smith. Bump, run right in front of Hunter. It's going to be too wide for the lead. Cedric Hunter's going to have an opportunity to drive it down low. Drifting up, trying to be the stealer. Here he comes. Cedric Hunter. He does it. He steals it. Miami 225 is all for Hello Kitty. Cedric Hunter wins. To the white flag. This is it. It's going to be your ride red white flag. Everything can happen. The gloves are off. Make the move. Get them out of the way. Nick Crawford, he's got plenty of space. He's pulling away. But for second, Tom Ford's not close enough. Winning, it's Nick Crawford. Will Cody Reed come down, or will he have the momentum? Here comes the surge of another blackjack driver. It's Ethan Smith out of nowhere. Christopher Norris, he needs the bump. He needs the help. Cody Reed slides up, emerges. They smack across the line. It's Christopher Norris. Norris wins.
Fonseca out of 2. He's got a sizable gap as the battle was happening for second, but third is where the battle's still going to happen. Fonseca just needs one more clean corner.
It took all the battling, it took all the attempts, all the struggles for the 24, but tonight at Dover, Ollie Fonseca is a winner of the ISRC here tonight.
Multiple guys got like 6 total wins throughout the league. Whitley, Ethan, John Forbes, Danny, you know, they're all like really, really good. And like even now, especially season 4, you know, me, the GOAT, a lot of guys who are like running up front who didn't used to. A lot of the new guys we've gotten, Noah Steele, Joshua Cannata, you know, a couple other guys, they're all really competitive. So like overall, there's a lot more guys who can run up front rather than just, you know, the 2 guys that kind of dominated during season 1. So it's really refreshing to see the level of competition we have in this league.
What's the feeling coming into this season as drivers that made the playoffs last season?
Feeling coming into this season, it was nerve-wracking. After last season, I didn't know how it was going to go and how the field changes. It was going to be interesting. You know, you want to continue to build upon what you've worked for. And at the end of the last season, we built up some momentum. You know, I think we ended up getting like 3 top 5s, 6 top 10s. So it was a pretty decent season for the way it started. But this season, it was definitely nerve-wracking. You know, you want to improve, you want to do better. So there's definitely that thought. And, you know, if it doesn't go better, there's always self-doubt. There's always motivation. There's never self-doubt in a driver. They're lying. Anything could happen to bring your mood any which way. And competitively, you know, your mood changes on how you finish and everything. So,
well, I'd say coming into the season, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty disappointed that I at least didn't make it past the first round there, especially after how fast I was second half of the playoffs there. I should have been there, made a mistake at Rockingham, put all my eggs into one basket at Talladega, and lost a 3-way tiebreaker. That's about as close as it gets. So that was hard to swallow. I'm still not over it, but it's the way it goes. So yeah, I was a little disappointed, but definitely a lot more confident than I was going into last season, because you know now I have a certain expectation set for myself. I know what I'm capable of. My main goal for this season was just to improve from last season and at least make it into the round of 12. Keep the mistakes limited and just race with a certain amount of just, we'll call it common sense. Just not getting ahead of myself like I did at Rockingham there and losing it. I think I can at least make the round of 8. That is my goal, is to at least make it in the round of 8. And with certain tracks on the schedule, I might even have a shot at making the round of 4, especially with Dover being in there. Thank you, Tyler. Love the schedule, love the playoff schedule. So we'll see what happens there. I'm just excited to be here again and ready for some redemption.
Now, I know this might bring us back to some hurt feelings back to last season, but Ethan, Trenton, what's it like coming into this season, and are you feeling any of that pressure? Let's start off with you, Ethan.
After the drama last season, and it's kind of circled around me, didn't really feel any pressure. Didn't then, didn't now. I don't really care if people at the time wanted to carry over anger for anything I said, week after week after week. That's their burden, not mine. I got nothing against anybody. So, if they're mad at me for something, then that's on them. I'll raise people as clean as I can.
And Trenton, how are you feeling missing the Final Four after being a past champion of this series?
I think it definitely stung a little bit. Being there the previous season before and winning the championship, it was a big deal for being a rookie in the series. But no, it's just a bad luck streak. We were on it for so long, and there were so many races last season where we could have won, but just didn't. We didn't capitalize, or we got wrecked, or just whatever it was. It stung, but I think what all happened made it a little bit better. Missing it with the whole thing with Ethan made it better with me. So,
hey, were you guys feeling any pressure coming into this season though to make the playoffs?
Yes, I would definitely say there was some pressure to make the playoffs this season, especially on my end. I feel like I put a lot of pressure on myself because I feel like while we may not be the fastest week in and week out, I do feel like we should be competing for top 10s at most tracks. So it was definitely a bit of a disappointment last season not to make it, but at that same token, we didn't deserve to make it last season. We didn't have the finishes or the runs that we deserved to make the playoffs. So coming into this season, yes, I would say I had a lot of pressure to make it, and I think we've done pretty well with answering to that pressure.
Did you feel the pressure this season coming in as a rookie? Absolutely, I did. I knew what these guys are capable of. I've seen the streams. I checked some of their ratings, and they're no joke. I think I even raced with a few of them in officials beforehand, and they're pretty good. I'm very thankful just to be in the position I am, and of course my teammates Ryan Crowfoot, Kyle Tay, Jordan Smeets, and along with a few of the other guys, Danny Cochran, Chris Norris, Nick Crawford, they've all really helped us out and really helped us kind of get our stuff going.
I wasn't feeling any pressure coming into this season. And if I was, it was a different kind of pressure. I think I said it earlier in the year that all I've ever wanted to do in this league is win a race, just to prove I belong. There's a lot of good guys in this league, a lot of guys that are really quick, really fast. And, I like to consider myself kind of in the top half. I feel like I run top 10 pretty consistently. No, there wasn't, I didn't feel a lot of pressure to make the playoffs this season. There was just that, that want and that drive to win a race this season.
As drivers that have made the Final Four or past champions, are you feeling that pressure coming into this season?
And coming into the season, I just wanted to, just ever since the lap 1 wreck at Homestead when I was in the championship 4, I want to have a shot at it again. I want to at least battle for it, have a shot for it. And you put in so much time and effort into it, and just to see it crumble as quickly as it did, it really stung. And it's just never, I think about it all the time. It's just, you never get over it until you're able to capitalize on it in the next moment. So that's my goal for the season. I really want to come into it strong and be a contender this year.
Coming off last season to make the Final Four, is there pressure to make the Final Four again? Of course there is, but we're just going to take it how it is. If we make it, we make it. If not, we're having fun anyways. So we'll see, but definitely is some pressure.
Was I feeling any pressure coming into the season as past champion? Yes and no. You know, it's definitely a nice thing to be, especially with all that we went through at the beginning of season 2 to end up being a champion that season. I think means more than anything. Now, you know, I definitely got something that I can hold over a lot of guys in this league that they might not ever have a chance at or even get close to being in a playoff position. So it's a nice thing to have. A lot of good memories for sure. Now I'm just gonna try to stack up race wins and get up to the top of that board where I think we should be, because there's definitely been a lot of races that we should have won, and even this season. So
I wouldn't say pressure for anybody else. I put pressure on myself. I feel like we should be in the Final Four every season. Season 1 and coming back last season, honestly, I expect myself to get there, and if I don't, I'm disappointed. I just have very high expectations of myself, and you know, some might think that's cocky. I expect a lot out of myself, and if I don't get it, I'm upset with myself because I feel like I should have done better. So I mean, every time I mess up, there ain't nobody harder on myself than me. So it's one of those things where it's just like, I don't want to be okay with 5th or 10th or 2nd. Like, you know, if you're in a 2nd, I feel like you should go out there and you should have won the race. So I guess pressure kinda, because I just always expect to do good. At least I expect it for myself, and if I don't, then I am not happy with myself.
As last season's champion, what's the goal for yourself?
I'm Danny Cochran, driver of the number 2 Larry Arts Productions, Buddy's Custom Baits, and Kentucky Bluegrass Sports Talk Radio, number 2 for Larson Line Racing. Goal this season is to run it back, man. We did it once, so got the monkey off our backs. We did it. We did the impossible. But now we've set the bar, right? Now it's expected. Now we got to run it back. We got to do it again. That's all right. We were up to the task last season. We're up to it again. Matter of fact, why? It's the Season 3 Championship Trophy. We're ready to run it back.
But just like that, a month break is gone, and it's time for us to take you on a trip for another season.
Oh man, it's just beginning here tonight.
As it is time for us to go green for Make Diecast action again. Want that 250 presented by Race Car Graveyard as the drivers roar down into turn number 1. Altus has been caught. Now here comes the big old hope. Everyone is testing their fates. Here comes the courage. The 94 stays low. Everyone has to move up as a group and do not run over the 94. And there's a little bit of shimmying up front, and the wreck begins. The big one strikes. They hold on, but not for long. The yellow, the second one of the night. But you look behind, the chaos starting to rumble. 3 to go, and if you're stuck in the back half of the field, this is go time. You cannot wait any longer, and here comes GT. The rest of the field, full throttle, full send, contact, trying to hold on. It's Christopher Norris wiggling and somehow loose. Holds it for now. Driver spinning behind. Chaos strikes, and it's Logan Breakey in the 29.
Oh man, that could have been so much worse for everybody, but behind him is where the checkups were coming. And
I apologize. I should probably know this by reading the rules, but I'm assuming the yellow line is out of bounds.
There is no set, like, below the yellow line rule, but it is, like, if you go down there, pass, and then you cause a wreck because of it, you will be at fault and you will get some sort of penalty for it.
Hoping to get a little bit of a run out of turn number 4, hoping to see the white flag, and we will. It's the Larry Arts Productions white flag, as it's going to be Mark Whitley, Cedric Hunter. Hunter tries to get to the inside. He gets a little bit of a bobble, not the run that he needs, but here comes John Forbes. He needs a massive push from the rookie. He's not getting it.
For the record, I was trying to push him on the last lap, Sam. I was trying. I had a damaged right front. I couldn't get up to him.
Zach threw that exited turn 2. It looks like it's all Mark.
And here's the opportunity, but it's not going to be there. John Forbes on the outside quarter panel of the 13. Now the 13 is pretty much stuck, pushing the 77 all the way down the back straightaway. Unless he can clear him here down in the 3 and 4, this will be his only opportunity as the bumps are coming wide as the wrecking. Now going to see what happens here as 3 and 4.
And Cedric Hunter going to be coming up, hoping for a big bump. He gets a wiggly, not the bump that he needs. He drops it down low, below that of the 77. It's going to be John Forbes below the yellow line. We're 3 wide, coming to the line. It's going to be Cedric Hunter, John Forbes, 4 wide. Forbes, but he went under the yellow. I don't think it's going to count.
Yeah, that's an interesting call. I know it's legal on iRacing,
Is it legal in the league? That is the question. I know certain leagues go by the iRacing rules of, you can go down there and make that attempt, but I mean, he did it, so he's technically won this race, but we'll have to get official confirmation as Cedric Hunter comes up second, Mark Whitley third, and Joshua Cannata coming home fourth with a 4-wide finish. What an amazing race.
We got that of John Forbes with us. John, congratulations on winning here tonight. You are the first driver to win 2 openers in this series. Congratulations on that, and as well on the win here tonight.
Oh, thank you guys. That was a hell of a race. I'm going back and looking at the finish right now. I had no idea we were 4 wide. That was awesome. It was
Favorite part of the regular season. I think that Daytona 4-wide finish has to be it. I can't think of a better way to start the season than that, especially, coming in as a rookie. And I was really just hoping to survive that race.
Hopefully these drivers did a good bit of homework here tonight coming into this race, because this is the first true test, as I would say. Daytona, always one of those races where it's anybody's game out there. But tonight, it's going to be all about true pace, true speed.
Tonight, it is the ISRC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series Season 2. For Season 4, the Kentucky 225 is green with John Forbes, Noah Steele rocketing down into turn number 1.
Great start from Forbes there. He's already going to clear that inside line. And you see Noah Steele rocking the new colors this season in that Color Teal graphics machine. That's cool to see that he's on Armadillo's Motorsports there racing with that team. And I think he's going to learn a lot from those guys.
Favorite part of the regular season, I think just as a team, we added our 4th driver of Noah Steele this season. And he's just been such a great add. And
I would say I've enjoyed Armadillo racing. They've took me under their wing.
I don't think he knew what he was getting into when he joined up with us. We like to have a lot of fun, but we also go back and forth throughout the week and talk a lot about how to run laps and what we're doing to find speed. And we were just, as a team, we've been rock solid this season. I think this is the best we've ever been as a team.
We do what we do, and these guys just keep me in line. I think everyone in the garage knows. Got a bit of a mouth on me and don't have a filter, as most people in my life know. Definitely a great group of guys, and even Tanner, he's a great guy. He wanted to message me to come on the team, and I accepted. Can't be more thankful.
Going back to the Armadillo Motorsports banner, I think definitely might help us a little bit. Yeah, it's been fun working well as a team this season.
Can he make it work? It looks like running that higher groove. And this is what I like about 3 and 4. You have options as a driver, and look at the power run that Cedric Hunter's going to get here. What does Danny Cochran do? He holds the high line now. Cedric Hunter down low, below the apron.
Contact! And there goes a 13. Danny got spinning. Huge wreck for the drivers. Back up onto the track and up to the surface. The 2's trying to lock it down low. And what a bizarre moment. Trying to make the pass for the lead, and they collide with one another. Drivers that are trying to crack into the top 10, that is where the chaos is building. If we're gonna see a yellow, it's gonna be from that group, as Mark Whitley, also seeing Cannata on top of one another. Sheffield into the stamp, and stamp into the outside wall. He keeps it straight. We stay green, but not for long. Cedric spins around, yellow flag out. We're going to a shootout.
Oh man, this just changes every little thing. And he was involved in that incident earlier that set him back and put him back here. So, it's just one of those cases where even, maybe even some arrow playing out there where that 57 got up the racetrack. I mean, it was such a weird shot up the racetrack for him. I know the one was, far off the wall, but that's kind of the line here.
Yeah, and you're seeing Cedric trying to hold on the brake, drivers scattering into the grass, doing their best, and it's gonna be a 4-lap shootout. Everyone is set up with the tires they have. It's what you got to deal with. Ethan Smith on some of the oldest tires. He's in 3rd. He's going to do his best to hold on and hope that no one else hits him, because it has been a tough night for a lot of these drivers. But the Kentucky 225, we're back underway. Wheel spin on the high side, and Logan Breakey is pulled away.
They made a huge gain on Breakey. Here comes Ethan Smith with the push from GT. What's going to happen down the back straightaway? He dives to the inside.
trying to make this work is that of the 0-0, but they got to be careful.
And now even that 24 diving to the inside of the 0-0 as GT does finally clear for that pass. They're going to be coming by this next time for 2 laps to go here in Kentucky. 3 miles left here around this wild racetrack.
But for that lead position, it is Logan Breakey through 3 and 4, trying to hold steady. He is looking for his first win ever in the ISRC Truck Series, and at turn number 4, coming to that of the the Larry Art Productions white flag, it's Logan Breakey. Can he hold on, Zach?
One more final lap into 1 and 2. This is going to be key. Got to have a great exit off of 2 to make sure that 14 doesn't get the run. Breakey does what he needs. The 14 washes up the track. Now just has to cleanly make it through 3 and 4. I think it might be it, Sam.
He brushes the wall, but it's going to be Logan Breakey a little bit too high. He's hoping that he can get the better run off the exit. And GT Rizzari, he did everything he could, but give it to Logan Breakey. Armadillo's had a bad night, but not for the 29. Logan wins.
What a story, folks. This is exactly what he meant to do this season, to come back from everything went wrong. You couldn't have had a race that went right for Logan Breakey last season. I feel so good for this guy. And look at the fireworks just for Logan here for the victory.
Definitely Logan winning. It caught me off guard, but I'm super happy he won. He deserves it more than anybody. He works his tail off, and he's also just another one of us that gets caught up on the end of bad luck most of these weeks. And I'm really glad that he got it done. It was such a cool moment to witness, and I'm just really happy to see him get a win finally.
Logan did everything possible for so long. You could say he was the grunt worker at times for the Armadillos team, trying to help out Eric Stamp, trying to help out Trenton Jump when he went for his championship run. And the 29 was in so many different scenarios to get himself into victory lane, and he finally can say that he got it done here at Kentucky.
Good one, Logan. Congrats on getting it.
Oh, Logan, you finally got one. He finally gets a sticker. Good job, Logan. Oh my God! Thank you, boys. Thank you. Great battle, GT. GG, Logan. With my old tires, Logan, I tried to stay with you, but I just couldn't do anything. Good job. Let's go, Breakey!
Hey, good job, man. I thought about trying to get to the back bumper, but I didn't want to do like that.
Good battle, GT. I appreciate it, buddy.
Congrats, Logan.
Thank you, boys. Thank you so much.
Man, that Kentucky win was... I still go back and I watch that. I guess, if I have to be completely honest, in a way it kind of fell in my lap. It was one of those races where I didn't qualify well. I think I qualified outside the top 20. Like, I completely missed qualifying. And, throughout the course of the race, I was casually working my way up through the field, spot by spot by spot. And I was thinking to myself, it's like, you know what, if I can sneak my way into a top 10... I'd be happy. I'd come away happy. At first, I was really struggling to find the speed, so I was going to be very satisfied to come away with a top 10 there. And then we got late in the race, and I think it was Cedric and Danny got into each other, wrecked up at the front. That collected a few of the leaders, my teammate Noah included. But that was kind of the turning point. I was able to sneak by and get myself in a good position, and suddenly I was up there running in third on fresh tires, and it was just there, and I was like, oh my God, this just kind of just fell in my lap. Went out there and was racing GT, and I couldn't believe how much faster I was than him. Not that he was slow, but it's just like I was hitting my marks, and I passed him for the lead, and then I drove away from him. And that's not something that I've ever been able to do in this league, and I just couldn't believe it. And I was saying to myself, I'm gonna win this race. And, that caution came out late. I had to restart with I think it was 4 to go. And the weirdest thing about that restart was I didn't feel a thing. And it was like, okay, that sucks, but I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get this done. And I got a good launch and never looked back. And, man, crossing that line, knowing that I was the first truck across that line to get that win, it was such a special feeling. And then to talk to Sam and to Zach after and hear how happy they were for me, that was really, really cool. And all the guys, I think I got a victory tap from everybody in the field at the end of that race, and that was so cool. I wasn't sure how appreciated and well liked I was until that moment in the league, and I have a lot of respect for everybody. because of that, and it's nice to know that they share that respect for me. So it was such a cool night, and one that I'm gonna remember forever.
And what a night. We saw some big wrecks, big spills, but at the end of the day, our race winner here tonight. We're pulling him up in the booth. Logan Breakey. He's been here since season 2. He had a woes last season for season 3, but a second race of season 4. Logan, you are now a first-time winner in the ISRC Truck Series. How are you feeling, man?
Oh my God, Sam! I have not stopped shaking since like the last caution. I cannot find the words to describe this. I said coming into this season, man, I don't even care about winning a championship. I just want to win a damn race. Just pardon my French there. I'm so amped up. I just want to win a race just to show that I belong here. I know I'm capable of doing it. I had a great shot at the end of season 2, I think, at Homestead, and it got taken from me. So, I'm just so excited, man. I can't believe it's finally happened.
Last season we made it to the round of 8, and that was amazing. You know, we were definitely the underdog story to a degree, but we shouldn't have been the underdog. You know, we definitely deserved to be there. It was just how the season went. Not perfect, but at least we got something out of last season. We definitely want to win and make the playoffs. You know, we're not going to make the playoffs by just a point, and I'm going to make sure I show that one way or another. Definitely want to just do better than last season, and just hope we can get back to the round of 8 and see where it goes from there. You know, we set ourselves up last season, hey, we can get to the round of 8, so there's no reason that we can't do it again. So that's the goal. The main goal for the season is to make the playoffs and win.
At some point, a pit stop will have to come in if we stay green flag. But with how wide open and how much grip is to these trucks, I expect some aggressive moves, some big movers, and maybe even some big wrecks. So we're going to have to watch out for that here early. But Danny Cochran trying to continue off where he left off in season 2 here with a victory.
Going to be up front, Danny Cochran, Ollie Fonseca from Larson Line Racing. They are running some special schemes tonight, that of the purple and gold with a hint of black. They are running that of Laker colors in tribute of Kobe Bryant. And it's time to see how well can they run up front as a straight out of Chicagoland 225 presented by Morecast, as we're green, seeing the 2 and the 24 heading down into turn number 1. Let's see how aggressive they want to be on the exit turn 2.
Yeah, not a surprise one bit at all. I mean, we're definitely having a lot of drivers have, you know, runs that continue.
Oh, last season trouble! And it's going to be that of Malik Coates down in the inside, and he's having major issues as he stays off the inside wall, and that is a lucky spot for a driver, and that is probably the cool-off lap that everyone was hoping to have a lot sooner.
38 of Christopher Norris here. And look at this down the back straightaway, 3 wide action. It's squeezing, and Danny Cochran and Ollie Fonseca right in the middle of all that. They don't want any damage from this, not to hurt those trucks that have been so fast all night.
And here it comes on the outside, 3 wide on the inside, outside, and in the middle. Drivers with fresh tires and a little bit of a scare from Noah Steele, as he's going to have a little bit of a squabble trying to get back on the apron. Driver still 3 wide, almost thinking 4 wide was going to be that of the 8, but luckily they hold steady, or will they? 3 wide, almost 4 wide, and stuck in the middle is going to be the 11. Danny into the wall, and there they go scattering. They somehow stay straight, but everyone panicking. Hard contact, and the admins throw the yellow. Practically everyone has used up their final set of tires. This is it. It's the straight out of Chicagoland 225, presented by that of Morecast. We're green, heading down into turn number 1 for the ISRC Truck Series. Malik Coates, 2 tires. He's holding strong, and here comes Cody Reed right on his back bumper. He drifts up, and here we go, Zach, for the lead already.
Oh, for the lead, and Cody Reed tried to get to the outside quarter panel, but that opened the door. Mark Whitley in the 77 now side by side with Malik for the lead here, and here comes last week's winner, Logan Breakey. It's all opening up here on the late laps of this race.
Logan Breakey get turned up with Cody Reed. Reed gonna be sent up to the outside wall. He survives. The next big one strikes, and almost everyone behind Mark Whitley gets taken out.
What a crazy scene here, as there is so many cars, so many trucks involved in this incident, and there's going to be some upset feelings after this one, folks.
Coming out of turn number 4, it's going to be 2 laps to go for our top 2.
What a race here for the lead. Noah Steele's going to have to find a little bit more grip. It's so tough. That dirty air is making it that much more hard, and Mark Whitley's being smart. He's opening the corner up. He's making the air a much wider path, and through 1 and 2 there, Mark Whitley opens the gap here as they head down the back straightaway for the penultimate time. Mark Whitley's looking for the white flag.
He's looking for the white flag, and he needs it to come quickly because that 8, he's ripping the middle lane. And will he get the run that he's hoping for at the exit of turn number 4 across the line? It's your Erhardt Productions white flag in the air. Mark Whitley, Noah Steele, who's getting the win? Cody Smith just stays high, and they completely split. Steele gets a better run. Here comes Mark with a crossover move. He's going to be right at the quarter panel. Steele in the more preferred lane as they head down in turn number 4.
Who's going to pull the side draft off down in the 3 and 4? Can Whitley clear, or does Steele have the preferred position? Here we go through the middle of 3 and 4.
Mark's going to have the run. He's got the space. He slides up. Steele dives it down low. Blocking to the apron. Mark Whitley, the scare, but holds on for win number 9.
What a job by Mark Whitley. He was not in the preferred position, but that just shows you what he's made of, the experience in that driver.
As we bring in our winning driver, we got Mark with us. Mark, congratulations on the win. It's Sam and Zach up at the booth. Man, how are you feeling after that? Because it was a roller coaster for us up at the booth.
Well, it's nice to be able to finally let go of the wheel because I think I had a death grip on it for the last, 8 laps of that race.
Favorite part of the regular season? That was tough. I have to say Chicagoland. If we're talking about racing, it'd be Chicagoland because we got a lot of experience running up front, battling Mark. So, I can't complain there, even though it was a heartbreaker. I can't complain that, we finished second. In this league, you got to take what you get and move on. Wins are important, but also finishing well is important.
So my favorite part about the season just has to be, competing up front now. I'm kind of a top 5 contender, top 10 contender in most races, but a lot of races I've been contending in the top 5, and that's pretty nice. Actually being able to stay competitive throughout the races and not really fall off like I used to is really, really nice. It's a lot more fun when you're actually able to compete with people.
Tonight, it's the trucks, and they're tackling a brand new factor, even a factor that real-life NASCAR has never done before, and that is tackling the full-course race here at Watkins Glen. They're heading to the boot, meaning there's more corners, more opportunities of danger, and a lot longer of a race that these drivers have to handle. Well, we've seen 3 great races. We've had 3 different winners this season. Can we have a 4th different winner, or will we see someone get their 2nd win of the season? Let's find out as the pace car's about to pull off. It's time for the Cody Super Epic Once 40 here at the Glen, and it's side by side for the lead. Danny Cochran, Mark Whitley, they get the green flag, and here we go down into turn number 1.
The most treacherous spot of this track here, especially on the first restart, is down here into 1. Can Danny Cochran clear the 77? Yes, he does. The 77 goes a little wide over that curve, but there is no penalty for incident limits here tonight, so you're going to see that being used a good portion of the night. And, I really like this call here by Danny Cochran if he is able to hold off, make the 21 laps, and keep the tires underneath him because, if so, that's going to be it. But he's loose in the S's. This gives the opportunity that Mark Whitley wants, and now heading down to the bus stop. This is going to be a nice, clean, easy pass here as he's got the run, and Trent Jump might even look to follow him through.
Yeah, there's a wiggle by the 2, but somehow he'll keep the speed. There are going to be 3 wide entering the bus stop. That's not going to work. Danny Cochran goes through the grass, and it's Trent Jump 2 for 1. The 46 somehow sticks it, but here comes Cody Reed, the fastest truck for the last 3 laps. The 25 making the pass on Danny Cochran. Now on the hunt to get by that of Mark Whitley.
In the prime position because he let it all come to him in a slow, methodical method.
He really was. And watching the tires and the lap times, Cody Reed right out of the gate when they got back out on track. That of Mark Whitley, Trent Jump, they were putting down the fast laps. They were putting down personal fastest laps of the race. Cody Reed, on the other hand, he was backing off his speed. He was constantly running just as fast as Danny Cochran. He wasn't trying to overdo those tires. And now by that of the 77 Mark Whitley, it's Cody Reed, Trent Jump. It was the duel between these 2 drivers when Jump won at that Watkins Glen race. Well, Cody Reed in a much better position, both trucks at full song, and now it's time to make the dash to the end. 13 to go, 12 when they cross the line. Crowfoot's not getting out of the way. They're catching him at the bus stop. This is the major speed difference to watch out for. The 46 trying to hit his marks. That of the 12 getting a little bit off track and forces our leader wide. And as well, Cody Reed's going to have to go wide around that of the 12 machine. Crowfoot is closing in the gap. Our top three now with all within a half a second of one another. Tonight, Cody Reed, talked to him, and I've been talking to him for these last couple of seasons. He always stated, this is the league that matters to me. I want to win in this league. Winning in this league of the ISRC Truck Series would mean more than probably winning getting away with the cup would mean so much more, would mean just as much as winning a championship. And the 25 dives it down low into turn number 1. He needs a great launch for himself. The 46 goes a little bit wide, able to get back to the throttle. They'll stay side by side, going up through the S's. And Cody Reed trying to go for an opportunity to win for the Truck Series. 10 to go here, Zach, and Mark Whitley almost dives it into the barrier.
See that happen, but it looks like the 17 holding here in position.
Oh no, and he's gonna break right in the actual third lane, forcing Cody Reed to go low. That's gonna be a little bit forcing him on the outside, but that's that little mistake we're talking about as the Larry Art Productions white flag is out. One scare is done. Now it's all about hitting your marks for Cody Reed as he's got a second gap to work with Trenton jump in second place.
I don't want this to come off as disrespectful, but seeing Cody run out front so much has been pretty impressive, especially my first season. It seemed like he was always getting into trouble. I feel like he still gets into some difficulties, but he's improved leaps and bounds. And honestly, the more the season went on, the less surprised I was because he was up there almost every week, or he was always in one of the contention spots. He wasn't just running 15th to 20th. I'm not, no disrespect to him. I feel like he's improved a lot.
Cody, 3 more corners. It has been just constant talking points. His second place here in the ISRC Truck Series was here at Watkins Glen back in season 2. He then got another second place for himself at Las Vegas. He got another second place at Bristol Dirt. He got a second place last season where he thought he would win at Atlanta. Through the final quarter, Cody Reed known as self-sabotaging at every race possible. But tonight, the Cody Reed super epic 140. Give it to the 25. Cody Reed wins.
Let me tell you, this guy, like you said, Sam, he brought up so many second place finishes. That guy has been trying things to get that monkey off his back of just bad luck, bad positioning, just everything, and it all comes back to pay off here tonight. And I'm telling you, I can look back to that Wednesday night win at Wicked. I think that's the confidence builder for this guy. What a crazy ending.
Cody, you got him! Let's go, dude! Good race, everyone!
Good win, Cody.
Holy, you did it! Good job, Cody.
Bring out the broom.
I'm out of gas. I can't do burnouts. Attaboy, Cody. Hold on, dude. Yeah, thank you.
Good job, Cody.
My favorite part of the regular season was seeing Cody Reed and Logan Breakey get their first victories in the league. 2 guys that I respect tremendously. 2 great drivers, very fast, and both of them deserve these wins. They were a long time coming, and surprising. Took 4 seasons for them to get their wins, but definitely my favorite part of the season was seeing those 2 guys grab their first victories, because getting a win in this league, whew, it's tough. To get one, it does feel special, so congrats to those 2 guys.
But I think probably the best moment from the regular season was Cody getting his first win. That was like, we practice all the time. We're a team here at Blackjack Racing, and just seeing him finally be able to break through and win Watkins Glen, like, it's just a great track for him, and to see how happy he was winning that race, that was super cool. So yeah, that was super sick.
Oh, and Cody winning at Watkins Glen, that was pretty exciting. I was pretty happy for him. He had that coming for a while, so I was happy to see that for him. Like Logan getting his first win, even Cody getting a win, and those wins are surprising.
Drivers, I mean, Cody was a big surprise, winning Watkins Glen, Logan winning, that's a good surprise, in the first win, having 3, as of right now, 3 new winners.
No, my favorite moment of the season was Watkins Glen, a week after Chicagoland incident where Cody killed us all. But I told him I'd give him $15 if he could keep the car off the wall, or the truck off the wall at Watkins Glen, and by God, he went out and won the thing. So, yeah, that was probably the coolest part of the season for me, because Cody he has a lot of speed, man. He's a good driver. It's just he He drives over his head a little bit sometimes. He gets a little anxious, and I think he even said this. I think having that win now, I think it's going to kind of help him, and I think it's developed him a lot, kind of keeping the nerves down, being cool, being smooth.
What a race this season. I mean, if anything, you could call it the season of the first-time winners. Logan Breakey did it 2 weeks ago. But I know for this driver, last season, I called it the Cody moment of him having self-sabotaging spin-outs. But, well, I might have to change that to tonight. A Cody moment of winning a race. I know this has been a moment that he's been hoping for. Hopefully we got him. Cody, it's Sam and Zach up in the booth. You, sir, are an ISRC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series winner here at Watkins Glen.
Dude, finally, man. Like, oh my god, I've had so many, like, close finishes, and last season kind of sucked completely. Last week kind of sucked, even though, I mean, I showed speed, and, like, I feel like ever since Phoenix, everything for me on iRacing, I've just been a lot better. Like, something's clicked. I don't know what it is. I don't know, man. Like, I won the Wicked Racing League race Wednesday at Watkins Glen, and then to sweep the Watkins Glen week feels great. But I do have to say, no offense to that league, but this is a lot more special. I've been racing with these guys since season 1. This is my first iRacing league I've ever done. So many second place finishes. Finally a win. I think I'm done talking for that segment.
So, winning my first race at Watkins Glen was pretty awesome. I've been close quite a few times, like Watkins Glen Season 2, Las Vegas Season 2, Dirt Bristol Season 2, pretty much like half the Season 2 races. And then like Season 3 at Atlanta, when Norris beat me and everything. I've been dying for a win because I've been so close so many times. And then just the week prior to Watkins Glen was Chicagoland, when I had one of the best trucks in the field and a late race restart. I should have had a really good chance of winning that race, and some shenanigans happened which prevented me from having a chance, which kind of sucked. And I was kind of down on myself for the whole week. But coming to Watkins Glen, you know, I felt like I had a pretty good chance. It's always one of my best tracks. We're running a different configuration, but for the most part, it's the same track, just with a little more added, which honestly isn't my strong suit. The boot at Watkins Glen is like more of a technical section, and I'm not really great at like technical road courses. I'm good at like the flowy sections and stuff like Watkins Glen normally is. So I was kind of iffy on the configuration change, but obviously it was pretty great. Stage 1, I was like 4th, and after the pit cycle happened, I just saved tires and got up front and led the whole thing after that, and that was pretty awesome. I was screaming in the Discord call. It was probably pretty loud if you ask Ethan or John, but it was a whole lot of fun. Motegi, that was a lot of fun. That whole race was a blast for me.
As they are ready and set to go for the Erhardt Productions 225. They get to test out international waters here at the ISRC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series into the restart zone. And we are green with Trent Jump. Mark Whitley thundering down the front stretch and heading to turn number 1.
This is going to bring out a different aspect right here.
Caution is out. It was sliding like it was some assists situated. Got to give big thanks, as well as deeper in the field is going to be wrecking in the back. It's the 5th tick. Our second attempt at overtime is green, and John Forbes was a much better launch for himself. It's going to be that Joshua Cannata who's going to be trying to get to the outside quarter panel and up double zero. And here we go down into turn number 1. And across the line, white flag is out. It's the Erhardt Productions white flag. This race is official as they're sending it down in these final corners. Anything goes, and it's John Forbes leading by 3/10 over Ethan Smith.
Easily holding on to this position. They're wrecking farther back, but it's the white flag. It doesn't matter. It's the 11 of John Forbes looking for his second victory of the early part of this season, and he's doing a great job as he makes it to 3 and 4 for the final time.
Down into turn number 3 and out at turn number 4. He won at Daytona to start the year off. We'll crown him a second-time winner this season. He wins in Japan. Give it to the 11 of John Forbes, winning here at Twin Ring Motegi.
Yeah, in Daytona and Twin Ring, they're pretty cool to win there. I always loved Daytona. Twin Ring was new, so that was cool to be able to just get out there and be competitive and win that race as well. I think there's a lot of moments and a lot of races that I've had a lot more potential in and just haven't been able to capitalize on. Haven't really had a lot of mistakes this season, so I've been pretty happy with that. That's just like, I used to throw a lot of races away just making a stupid like pit road mistake or something like that, so definitely improved on things, and I feel like I could have some more wins under my belt, but just circumstances and just unfortunate things happening in races have really taken me out of a few of them.
I never really had any problems, just stayed out of the wall. Stayed out of other people race, finished 4th in that race, I think. That was probably the most fun race in my opinion. I know a lot of other people don't think so, but I really liked Motegi. But I was just I just had a good day all day, and it was really nice. I don't know, I really liked Motegi.
But already the anticipation is building. The 2, the 77, they know it's time to ramp it up into the Geico restart zone, and we are green for the Erhardt Productions Throwback 170 here tonight. And Mark Whitley on the top side of the 77, great start for him. They're going to go side by side for the lead down into 1, and we'll see who can fight it out at 2 here as it gets very tight on the exit. Both of them dropping it low, and Danny Cochran, he's sliding and he's spinning. He's sliding, he's going to be trying to stay off the rest of the field. He drifts up in front, but luckily no one making contact with the 2 machine. And the 2 brings out our first caution before lap 1 is even done. And you got to change every little thing you're doing. Is Mark going to be tough here on this exit with the lapper? It's no contact for the leaders, and once again it's Cody Smith getting in front of Mark Whitley for that of the 2nd time this season. Well off the pace, and this is going to stack things up. Man, it almost happened. Is now Danny Cochran, he's going to possibly make it 3 wide here off the exit of 2. And the 7 going to be drifting in front of drivers. He gets out of control, able to hold on, and it is just looking hazardous as the 7 of Cody Smith as in front of Smith, it's contact, it's Eric stamping into the wall. Then it's going to be the 6 spinning out the 91 of Mar Morales, and somehow the rest of the field doesn't clobber one another. We are back giving you coverage on Freaky Fast Broadcasting Monday night of the ISRC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series. It's race number 6, and drivers are piling into pit road. Cedric Hunter is sideways and trying to get himself back straight. Pit entry, madness here under yellow.
Darlington, I have no idea where that came from. I didn't get to practice for that race whatsoever. It had been so long since I ran at Darlington, other than a couple C-Fix officials in my past. Yeah, I really don't know where that came from, but man, that was fun. That was really fun. I wish me and Brandon had been a little smarter with the pit strategy there. I don't really know what we were thinking, to be honest with you. We were just hoping that maybe more people would stay out with us there, and that we could snag one, but we probably would have had a better shot there.
Ollie Fonseca, old tires versus new. Green flag is out of the air. The 00 didn't get that great of a launch, but wheel spin for Ollie, and Trent jump is there going into turn number 1. Side by side for the lead position. It's going to be an easy one too. There comes Nick Crawford. He's going to try to follow that 46 through, and the 46 is going to be completely clear here. And even Ethan Smith also, as now it's going to be a top 3 battle here for the win, as Ollie Fonseca, he's going to be a sitting duck. It's going to be a sitting duck in 4th, our front 3, front 4, front 5. They're all gone, but they're wrecking behind. It's a mayhem in the center of 3 and 4. Drivers were side by side, almost 3 wide of the entry of turn 3, and it did not stick. This is an inside the regulation green white checker. 2 laps to go. If we get a yellow flag on this first lap, we're going to overtime. Drivers trying to keep themselves connected to the race into the restart zone, and we're green here for the Erhardt Productions Throwback 170. Trend jump, a great launch for himself. Nick Crawford defending the 00 as they go into turn number 1. Zach, it's all trend jump right at this moment. Into that of the Geico restart zones across the line. It's the Erhardt Productions white flag. They're 3 wide deeper in the field for 4th place, but for the lead it's Trent Jump, Nick Crawford, Ethan Smith trying to hold on the best that they can. Nick Crawford, one more opportunity for the 74 to go after the 46. Can that Trent Jump break the winless streak that he's had for so long? He won all the way back in season 2. So many opportunities, so many chances, and tonight out of turn number 4 he keeps it out of the wall and will win the Erhardt Productions Throwback 170. And man, what a drought it's been, but it's finally broken. That it is, folks. It has been broken, and maybe the floodgates have been opened. Can the 46 continue what he's done? 3 stage wins in a row, and now
now a victory to go along with it. Trenton Jump is on a mission here in season number 4 here.
I'm happy to finally win again this season. You know, it's about time. It's been a long time coming. The amount of races that we have led or been in position to win, or we're leading with 10 to go and nothing's going to change that I was going to win. You know, Motegi and just a late race yellow, just you can't control what happens once that yellow comes out. So, you know, that definitely happens. And you look back to Rockingham last year, I pretty much had that race led flag to flag and was going to win, and then intent yellow came out. You know, it was a lot of respect for guys after that, and it's just not what you can do. But it was good being back in victory lane at Darlington. I knew going into that race it was going to be a good one for us. I'd been doing a ton of races there, and Darlington's just one of my favorite tracks, so I'm damn glad we did get it done there.
Here tonight, it's the ISRC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series for the Dyno Charge 250, and we are green this evening, as that's going to be Cedric Hunter, Mark Whitley, Nick Crawford, as well as Trenton Jump, taking us all the way down into turn number 1 of machines. You got our leaders, which are going to be our top about 3 to 4 drivers trying to pull away. Then we've got another group, as all caution, striking in the back, while other drivers around the course being a little bit more aggressive with their fresh rubber, as gotta be seen that Trenton Jump, Ollie Fonseca. No, there goes Nick Crawford coming down and getting contact with himself, as well as gonna be that, 47, and that's John McAdams in the 47.
Catch from the 77, just great wheelmanship as he was dead sideways on the edge of the corner.
No!
That was 6. Oh no!
It's going to be the 6 spinning around, as well as the 4 going to be having issues as drivers not able to survive.
Pressure tires here, trying to go forward, trying to get close to those stage points. That's what you want. You know how valuable they can be. We've seen, and there's contact on the back straightaway. They hold on to that machine. I believe that's John Forbes, who is dropping back there in the 11 machine after the contact. But there's also a spinner in the background. It's Joshua Freed and Justin Smith involved in this, but they're going to stay green as they're off the racing surface.
Fontana was really fun too. Got to lead some laps there, battling with Cedric real hard. Battling with Kyle was fun. I can't remember what exactly went wrong in that race, but I made a couple of mistakes and I got a little mired back, but I still got a solid finish there. Fontana is definitely one of my favorite favorite tracks, but again, just the lack of practice, I was surprised. Some of these places I ran good at, I don't know where it's come from. It's just happened, sort of. So
2 separate incidences, and we somehow stay green. As for that second one, it was contact between that of GT Rosari into that of the 39, which bounced Justin Smith as they're wrecking up front. It's Mark Whitley spinning around. Tonight, he's doing the risky job of running the yard.
That he is. It's always a risk, it seems, with that. And the yellow flag's out.
Oh my, and it's going to be that of Zachary Peterson on the front stretch.
Wow, this changes everything, folks.
Now is the time. 6 laps to go. The teammates are leading the charge. Who's going to survive the exit of turn 2? Because Zach, I got a feeling someone's going to overstep that boundary.
I have that same feeling, Sam. Somebody here's got to make that weird maneuver. Slide and get loose. The 16 a little free there through the center of the corner. The 53 loose up top. Now we're going to have the run from the inside lane. The 29, the 8 machine, all of them here stacked up. Nick Crawford even coming into the wrecking.
Teammates, it's going to be everyone scattering across as the front stretch and the front row all take each other out. Just bad bumps on the straightaway, and it causes calamity. Ready for tonight's event. Some of our biggest movers are up front, but can they stay up front? Into the restart zone, we're green here for our restart, as it's going to be that of the 8 machine already with a good launch, but watch out for that 11 of John Forbes.
This is what the 8 machine wants to see. He wants to see him side by side for the second position, and you got Forbes on the 2 tires.
It's your Lariat Productions white flag. This is it, Zach, as they go into turn number 1.
One final time through 1 and 2. Everything's breaking loose back here from second on back. Noah Steele knows this is his time to get the victory, and he sees great stuff in his mirror as behind him Nick Crawford into the 00, and John Forbes holding on to second as they're 3 wide down the back straightaway, stacking up with Steele going into the 4 lead.
Noah Steele trying to search for this victory for himself, looking for an opportunity. John Forbes sending it all the way into the corner. Will it stick, though, as the 11's looking for the momentum, the 8 looking for the smoothness. Out of turn number 4, going to be taking the victory here at the Dyno Charge 250. It's Noah Steele in the 8 machine.
And they're beating and banging it, man. I tell you what, for third,
Nick Crawford pulls that off with a 24. What a win for Noah Steele, though, guys. This has been a long time coming for the 8 machine.
My favorite part of the regular season for season 4 was seeing Logan, Cody, and Noah Steele get their first win. I believe Noah was at Auto Club, Logan at Kentucky, and then Cody at Watkins Glen. I'm really glad that I got to see, them win, because I've known Cody since season 1, and then, Logan's been here since season 2, and so has, I believe, Noah. So, just seeing those guys come around and finally getting their first win after being so close so many times, especially Cody this season, it's definitely good to, I feel good for them to get a win. Unfortunately, it doesn't help me in the playoffs, but it's nice to see that they got their first win.
Winning our first race, Auto Club was a perfect storm. It was, I was over the moon because we've shown so much speed so far in the season, and to finally put that check mark and next to that goal makes you hungry for more, because now you can do it. You want to be excited and go into the next race being like, oh, we can do this. We've got speed. Chicagoland. I didn't expect to have the speed that we had at Chicagoland. We did have a lot of guys get knocked out, but we were racing for the win. And that always feels good, and so it was knocking that off the list is just something that makes your motivation go higher, makes everything easier in that sense. And definitely after last season, we learned a lot last season. Definitely after Charlotte, it was like, oh, we might be able to do this. The field is competitive, and there's some big names out there that last season they probably like, this guy can't win. But we proved them wrong. We learned a lot after last season. These longer races. I've only been on the service for now a year and like 2 months. So to be here and to be a winner in the ISRC, it means a lot. But it's one, and we want to go get more and just continue that streak of doing better and improving ourselves and doing these long races with strategy is something last year I did not know, so I had to learn that. And finally, I think we've come into our own, and I think we've shown it this season. We now have equal finishes to last year, and it's not even the playoffs yet. So we continue to rack up, top 10s, top 5s, and do our best. The win was amazing. I remember the second to last restart, our teammates were on the front row. Cedric was in front of us, Cannata, I believe, and the Forbes on our inside, and we were starting on the outside. And honestly, I didn't know what to do. We gained a lot of stops, left pit stops, so I was like, okay, we'll drive it hard, see what we get run out of 2, and go from there. And somehow it worked out where we went to the inside and avoided the mess. And that's a lot of, pure luck, really. When you're that close to the accident, such as, last season, we didn't have much luck, but we're up at the front more, and it helps. So even though being up at the front's not the best of times, such as Kentucky, we got taken out when we were in 3rd, or we're in the top 5 at least. But and then the restart, it was nerve-wracking. Nolan Hicks had to calm me down quite a bit. The heart was racing, and couldn't have done it without him. He was coaching me through those last 2 laps. Yeah, I just wouldn't have been able to do it without him. When Forbes sent it into 4, it scared the crap out of me for a little bit. It worked out, and we're in the playoffs.
We get to see another first-time winner here tonight as we head to victory lane. It's Noah Steele in the 8 machine. We'll get his thoughts on how tonight went. Sorry, Noah, for taking away from that conversation, but you are finding yourself as the 3rd driver this season being a first-time winner. Ben, how are you feeling after that?
Feeling great, man. I can't believe it. It's my heart was racing towards the end there. I knew we had the speed. We messed up qualifying. This is my best track on the surface. It feels so good to be here. We deserve it. We've raced so hard, and we've had consistent speed, just some bad luck here and there. It's just about time.
Well, the tensions are high. Drivers don't know what they're going to get themselves into. We do know one thing. Dirt's going to be flying as that of the Dilla's Dirt Derby is ready to get ramped up here at Port Royal. Green flag is out, and already a little bit of wheel spin going to be showing, but it's going to be Trent Jump with the nose down into turn number 1.
Early start to this race with that clean track. We'll see where the grip level's at. Uphold sliding up, but he's also got Trent Jump there on his outside. It's starting to hit, and they're making contact. We're going to have a wreck down the back straightaway here if this continues.
And there goes Barricot pulled around, and yellow flag strikes immediately on lap number 1. And it's Kyle Rochelle going to hold the lead as more drivers going to be sliding down to the inside lane. And instantly, already drivers with major issues, and our pole sitter, Zach, required damage already for the 17.
And just like that just shows you dirt racing. You can never know what's going to happen until the green flag drops.
They're going to go together. It's going to be Mark Whitley, Jonathan Smith already going to be in line. They're going to be 3 wide back for that 3rd place. Ollie Fonseca going to be trying to do a slide job move on Cody Reed. And it's not going to work. Send him to the moon. There goes the 24 to the fence.
And luckily lands back into racetrack. Wild Seeds is always going to get hit there. May put him on his wheels. Nope.
No, he hit him in a bad angle.
Port Royal was not my best race or track, and we didn't have the speed. When me and Kyle Rochelle got together, me and Logan was talking to me like, hey, it's all right. Definitely when that was not a pretty situation, but it's racing, and we all get heated in the heat of the moment. When we usually race around each other clean, it just bound to happen.
But as they exit out of turn number 4, already up, gassed up and rolling, we are back to green flag action for the Dilla's Dirt Derby here at Port Royal Speedway. And Mark Whitley slamming the wall into turn number 1 and 2, trying to get the better launch out of the corner and trying to build up a gap any way possible. Earlier than the 2 and the 46 as our top 3 are gone, pulled away, 5 to go. As you're seeing the 77, also with hitting the wall, that's not adding to the incident limit because he's not hitting it hard enough for the 77, the 2, or the 46, or the rest of the field. You got to be making contact with other drivers or at a significant speed to get any incident points for hitting the wall, as 3 laps to go. About to come to 2 to go. Danny Cochran needing to set up the best exit that he can for a slide job move in the entry of one of these corners. 2 to go here at Port Royal.
Opening up the gap. Whitley is up front. Great job by him there to open it up a little bit here coming down to the end. And right there, a little mistake in 1 and 2. It lets Cochran close in. It's a truck link now.
Diving it down low. The first line job attempt from that of Danny Cochran. Gonna go straight up to the outside wall. Mark Whitley with the crossover move. Side by side. And the 2 gets shoved to the outside wall. It's your Lariat Productions white flag. And Mark Whitley with a beautiful crossover move. He will hold steady through 1 and 2. Coming on in the backstretch. It's Mark Whitley with that of a truck length and a half over Danny Cochran. And it continues to grow down into turn number 3. Trent Jump. Wall riding, can't hold off for a second. Danny cuts him off, and it's Mark Whitley winning at the dirt again as he wins here at Port Royal. Well, congratulations on the win. How you feeling about that? And as well, are you smelling smoke? Because that right side was used up on that wall.
I don't know if I smell smoke, but I don't think there's a right side door on it anymore. Just trying to, you have to run the high side, and especially at the end of that race, I mean, the wall was the same color as the track. So me and Danny were talking, it's like, you go in the corner just kind of guessing where the wall's at, and I was go in there and pitch the right rear out there, and I'm like, all right, right rear, tell me where the wall's at, because I can't see it.
And drivers are set to run here in Japan. Trent Jump, Nick Crawford, they have been settling in, trying to find their good runs to prepare for the playoffs. Counting tonight, just 3 more races before they get into the hard battles to battle for a championship. But it is time for that of Trent Jump, Nick Crawford. They are roaring, ready. Pace car is into pit road, and they are about to enter the green flag zone for the Fuji Grand Prix, presented by Sac City Diecast. They're waiting for the official green. It's out, and let's get roaring here in Japan as the drivers head down into turn number 1. The better launch going to go to that Nick Crawford, but the braking zone going to be quick as drivers trying to whoa up and not take each other out. They're going to be 4 wide, battling for that at 6th place, but up front they're going to be side by side. Trent Jump's going to survive. The rest of the field's trying to hold up. They're sliding and wrecking. Calamity going to be with Logan Breakey, Cody Reed, and as well going to be seeing that of Eric Stamp trying to get themselves moving forward. Logan Breakey going to get the worst of it. Up front front still going to be Trenton Jump. Nick Crawford going to be making it through that at turn 3. And just like that, already some early calamity here, Zach. Cruise speed, and luckily there's plenty of runoff space, so drivers make mistakes in the middle of this racetrack. They got time to get out of the way, but Cody Reed finding issues here in lap number 1. He goes off track, trying to get it circled back around, but from 7th and now all the way down to almost last place is the 25. And Zach, that's already about 6 drivers that have had some major issues that have lost a lot of ground. The 25 has been trying to come back. He was caught up in that the end of lap 1 incident that got him basically from 5th place all the way down to 23rd. He's been able to climb back up to 10th, now trying to make the pass for 9th. And right now, Cody Reed, he was one of the first drivers to hit pit road. He's on some of the oldest tires. And Ollie Fonseca makes the mistake, and that's going to be almost collecting Dakota Moniz, who has to come to a complete halt. The 5, luckily they were in one of the slowest corners that allowed him to stop on a dime. But that could have been a lot worse between those 2 drivers. Joshua Cannata going to be finally able to duck down low. Going to be trying to outbrake. He's going to lock up the tires. That is not good on his tire wear. And oh no, Ethan Smith able to hold on. John Forbes has to go extended wide to get around his teammate for 7th place.
Very close here through this high-speed sector. Look, he's going to dive it to the inside here through this portion. And now they're going to be side-by-side into one of the toughest corners. Nick Crawford to the lead.
6 laps to go. The 46 needs to make this pass quickly, because if Nick Crawford gets rolling, he might not be able to be caught back up as it coming around the last bend. Coming to 5 to go. Nick Crawford, the patience kicks in as he ramps it up to speed on the front stretch. Stake into turn 10, where it's been a crucial time. Thought it was going to be Nick Crawford because of how close he's been to that of the entry point of the apex of hitting the rumble strips. Surviving, but a recovery run. Look at this 46, Zach. Even with the mistake, he's right there on the back bumper of the exit of the corner. A little bit of a wheel spin, but he's just a terrible launch out of that last bend. All that time he gained, it's right back to square one.
Nick Crawford made an even mistake with him there in that final sector. Just overdrove that second to last corner. Didn't get the drive off and needed that allowed Trent Jump to get that much closer, but 3 laps to go.
As we're coming to that of the Lariat Productions white flag, it is going to be the Armadillo teammates. Who will help? Will Eric Stamp just get out of the way or defend Nick Crawford? It's a 1-on-2 battle for the white flag here at Fuji.
6 tenths of a second separating our top 2. And what does Eric Stamp do? Like you said, they're closing in super quickly on the 53. Let's see how this works out, folks. Eric Stamp going to go wide here, let him go by. What a very great move from him there as he allows Nick Crawford and Trenton Jump, his teammate, to go battle it out.
As they're coming out of turn number 8, into bend number 9, down into Dunlop corner, where we've seen Nick Crawford be so aggressive. Will there be patience, or is it all about sending it to the end? Goes off the rails, into the grass. Is going to be Trenton Jump, somehow holding steady, but he wasn't able to get the grip down into the final sector. Going to be seen to 74, going a little bit wide. Same goes for that of Trenton Jump. Not close enough. We're going to the last 2 corners. That of Nick Crawford trying to get himself into victory lane. He's seen so many mistakes before. He thought he was going to get his 2nd ever career win in the ISRC back of that of Road America last season in the playoffs. He didn't strike dead out of the last bend here at Fuji. The Fuji GP. He lost the lead after taking it away, but he fought back, saw the mistakes from Trenton Jump, and Nick Crawford crowned him the winner here at Fuji. The 74 wins here tonight.
My favorite part of the regular season, I guess right now, has to be my win. It felt like it actually worked for that win, and it was nice. It's hard for me to accept that I am possibly good at iRacing, but that win definitely helped.
Nick, it's Sam and Zach of the booth. Congratulations, you're a winner here at Fuji. Thought maybe you'd get that first one of the season at Watkins Glen with that strategy, but man, how are you feeling after that one? Because we're still trying to catch our breath with how intense it was all night long.
Oh, Sam, I'm so sweaty right now. I should have had the fan on, but I'm super excited. I didn't know if I was going to be able to outrun Trenton, especially when he got past me after pit stops, but it all came back, and I'm just sweaty and excited.
Well, Nick, congrats, buddy. First one of the season. And, the thing I want to lay down is just a great drive, first of all, from you. But do you feel like this is a little bit of redemption for Road America? Because we know that one got away from you. There were connection issues. Does this feel like it redeemed yourself just a little bit with tonight's win?
Oh, definitely. Watkins Glen was a good finish, but today is redemption, showing that we should have been fast. But yeah, this is definitely a redemption. I'm really glad that it happened, and just glad my internet stayed here.
I'd say the amount of parity, honestly. I think there's been quite a few different winners, 8 different winners in the 11 races. It's been great for the league. Obviously, you got your aliens like Mark Whitley, who's going to go off and win 3 or 4 races in a season. But other than that, it's been even, I'd say, as far as who's coming out on top each and every week. So I would say just the amount of different winners we've had has been great in the season. And also seeing all the rookies come in and run great as well, it's been amazing.
Because the pace car is off, and we are green here tonight with Armadillos Keep Digging 225 at Kansas. Here tonight, it's Mark Whitley, Nick Crawford heading down into turn number 1.
Side by side for that lead position, but it's going to be the push from the 16 of Cannata that's going to propel the 77 forward here. And that inside line is going to be the dominant way to go here early in the going, with all the throttle time and grip coming from down low.
Drivers bump drafting at this current time. Cannata trying to keep it close, but drivers staying up front.
As that is Trent Jump going to get a little bit loose there for the 46. Cold tires showing already to be aware, and drivers already scattering as they come across the line. 2, 3, and some thinking about even 4 or 5 wide deeper in the field.
Those two teammates lined up, and hopefully if Whitley can slide up behind him, but he's going to cut the apron, shorten the distance, and he's going to stay to the inside of this here.
Oh, the wreck in front! Cedric Hunter thought he was clear. He was not clipping, and carnage of drivers just piling in. They cannot slow down, and it goes from bad to worse with our first caution on lap 18.
Oh, man, that is tough to see for the lead up there, and drivers are going to be having destroyed trucks. I mean, so many required damage flags. Danny Cochran, John Forbes, Cedric Hunter, Ollie Fonseca, Christopher Norris, Joshua Altis, Austin Halsey, and it just shows you everybody fighting for that top lane, and everything comes together right when you enter that corner, and we have a huge incident in 1.
Let's see what 18 lap difference on tire rubber is going to look like for that of Mark Whitley and Joshua Cannata.
This will be interesting for sure, Sam. We'll see how the difference is made here, but already a great start from Mark Whitley.
The 7 laps to go, as we are on 7 to go, coming up to 6 to go here very shortly. It's going to be Mark Whitley seeing the Lariat Productions white flag in the air, the 77 down into turn number 1. No worries of lap cars, no worries of yellow. The white flag allows these drivers to take it to the end, and here we go, settling onto the backstretch.
One final time for Mark Whitley through 3 and 4, and he's going to be a 3-time winner this season. I mean, what a drive for him, especially after coming back for that stage strategy.
Well, he got his 10th win a few weeks back. We'll give him his 11th career win, his 3rd of the season. No longer going to be tied with the most wins this season. He is definitively the most winningest driver so far in the regular season with 3. And what a run by the 77. Went with the on-ball strategy of not going for stage points. Didn't matter. He had the strength, the speed, and now the win here at Kansas. Tonight, it is the last race of the regular season, and it's the night for drivers to put their final foot forward. 16 drivers are going to make it into the playoffs, and 14 positions are practically sealed. Just by starting, 14 drivers are going to be in, but 2 spots still wide open on who's going to grab those positions. We were given reports just a few weeks ago. Cedric Hunter, who's inside of our top 16, will not be racing in the playoffs, so that bumps the cutoff line to 17th place of Matt Upbrook and Christopher Norris, the 2 drivers that are inside of our top 16. And then you've got Eric Stamp, that of Gregory Smith, and Jordan Schmeets, all with a chance to make it in the playoffs. Those 5 drivers are going to make it in, all in a difference of 6 points on who is in, who is out. Get your popcorn ready. It's the last great Coliseum. Tonight, it's the Bristol Thunder 200 for the ISRC Truck Series. Right now, it is just a 5-horse race to make it in. Again, that is Christopher Norris, Matt Upbrook, Eric Stamp, Justin Smith, and Jordan Schmeets. 6 points different coming into tonight are the difference between those 5 drivers, and only 2 of the 5 move on into the playoffs. And Christopher Norris, Zach, as we're about to get ourselves green, he has found himself last season being tied twice in that of getting into the playoffs, and then also the next round
making it to the round of 12. So 38, no surprise, these nail-biter situations. He's hoping to make it into the playoffs once again.
When I was sitting on the cutoff line, I had about 3 to 4 guys behind me within like 5 to 10 points, and I was honestly scared.
But up front, it is time for us to go Bristol Thunder Racing here tonight, as it's going to be Mark Whitley, Malik Coates heading down into turn number 1. Can they survive the first couple of corners? So far out of the exit of turn number 1, looking good for our leaders, but it's turns 3 and 4. We saw the calamity last season. Going to be seeing so far everyone surviving for now. That's a good first lap, and it's Mark Whitley leading lap number 1.
5 machine Dakota Moniz is trying to run his way forward. He was kind of part of the group that had to really check up and lost a lot of time. Dakota, one of the drivers, says, oh no, Mark Morales, Zach Peterson, and going to be seeing others sliding and trying to slow down, but the brakes make him go sideways even more. Third caution of the day strikes here on lap 38 with Danny Cochran in second place, and these two had a legendary run at Phoenix last season, battling for the championship, and now this season seems very different. I mean, Zach, we look at the stats of this season, and there are 2 drivers that completely blow my mind on the fact that they still don't have a win. That's the 2 of Danny Cochran and Ethan Smith, still searching for their first win, as they're going to be starting as the 2 top drivers on the outside.
It is very head-scratching. I mean, our defending champion, Danny Cochran, looked so strong last season, and not to say he hadn't looked strong this season. He's had a lot of, hiccups there with mistakes himself, and even drivers, have those mistakes we've seen that can take you out. So, not, crazy to say he has not a win, but it is very interesting to say the least.
I'm sure you might get this answer from other people, but the biggest surprise of the season, I think, is just the lack of winning from some of our most dominant competitors. Obviously we've seen Mark Whitley win 3 races this season already, but Danny Cochran, our champion from last season, still doesn't have a win.
I'm sorry to mention this, but I think Danny Cochran not doing as well as he did last year.
And this is not a knock on him whatsoever, but is the struggles that Danny has had this season.
Surprised that Ethan Smith, Danny have not won a race.
Maybe the fact that Danny hasn't got a win yet. No, I'm just teasing him, but it is a little shocking.
Obviously, he won the championship last season, so the championship hangover is a thing. It happened to Trent last season.
Honestly, for me, it would probably be Danny Cochran and Ethan Smith not winning. They have dominated the seasons in the past, Danny Cochran having 1 championship. Ethan, I don't believe he has one yet.
Yeah, I'm shocked I haven't won a race yet, man. We've had the speed, we've just not had the luck. Usually luck can kind of fall my way time to time, but this season it's shocking how terrible this season has gone. The championship slump has been crazy, dude. But you know what? We're making the most of it. We got a smile on our face. We got nothing to prove. We're the champions, right? We're ready to run it back. So it's a little surprising that this season's been off to kind of a shaky start. We're like 2/3 of the way through. But, hit our stride late. We're gonna have a good run in the playoffs. I sincerely believe that.
Am I surprised that I have no wins throughout the regular season? Yes and no. After last season, all of this is, we all take it somewhat seriously, and at the same time it is, it's fun and we all work hard at it, but at the end of the day it's kind of for fun, putting on a show for the fans, stuff like that. So after all the drama and just the negativity that a bunch of people had kind of killed the excitement for me, I almost dropped out just because it wasn't fun anymore. Anytime I said anything, no matter what it was, people, said something, they just, even when I didn't say anything, I would get in trouble for it or something would happen. It's whatever. I just don't really open my mouth to anybody but my teammates, and that's just how it's going to be. And, I got no problems with that. I'll let people run their race, and I'm going to run mine.
Rides are still pointing straight. Yes, Dakota got the worst of it into the outside wall, but oh no, Matt Upbrook in front of him gets loose. Going to be causing a slight checkup. He comes back up into the track. 3 wide, now going to be 2 wide through the back half of the field. And oh boy, the 15, he got fresh rubber, but it's already looking burnt off with the way that he's running right now.
And I think he kind of forgot about how this plays out. When you get that new rubber put on that truck, it is still cold, and it's tough to just make those tires grip up. And with this group so stacked up right here,
This is a dangerous point, especially for Christopher Norris there in that 38. We can see on the bottom of that white truck. If this all happens to be a wreck right here, he does not need this to happen where he's located in points.
But Zach, based on what I'm seeing right now, none of the 5 drivers that need bonus points are in position to grab those stage bonus points.
That they are not. Justin Smith would be the closest one in the 14th position at the moment. And
blink of an eye, just like we've already seen so far tonight, as we are going to see the yellow strike. And unfortunately, it is going to be right in front of our leaders as Zachary Peterson has to quickly dive down low in front of our leaders.
It looks like pit road get pretty busy here before the end of this stage.
Oh boy, leader's going to be seeing some drivers into pit road. Mark Whitley going to be one of those coming into pit road. Danny Cochran and Zach. Oh, the thought of drivers not getting stage bonus points, throw that out the window. There is a high possibility of bonus points being grabbed, and the chances of being bounced out from a chance to race in the playoffs are high now, as now drivers that are inside of the top 10 for bonus points. Christopher Norris in 9th. That of Jordan Schmidt's going to be in 8th. Matt Upbrook in 7th. That of Eric Stamp is in 6th. But that of Justin Smith, nowhere to be seen. He's back in 21st position.
He's on pit road, so he elected to follow the leaders of this group come down. And
well, let's get ourselves ready. Hopefully you've already got your popcorn, because the stage break in just 6 laps. Who's going to get the bonus points? Let's find out. It's the pace car pulls in. Green flag back into the air, and here we go. It's going to be that of Blackjack Racing. 1, 2, 3, down into turn number 1.
We start with 5 to go to the stage, and that was, I actually had, I believe, Danny Cochran right behind me, battling for stage position. And that's when I knew, and I was told about, yeah, we need to send it. Do everything we can to gain positions, and that's exactly what I did.
And right now, Danny Cochran going to be leading those with the fresh rubber up to just 10. Only up 1 position, about to be grabbing more. But as you see on screen, the driver that's on the move, carving his way in the white, that's Christopher Norris. That's already passed Upbrook as well, is trying to make the pass by that of Schmitz. He's already done so. Next driver in line going to be Eric Stamp to try to maximize his points over his competition.
He's doing a great job right now, driven up to 6th and going to be looking for a top 5 spot here, and maybe possibly save those tires a good bit where he was running back farther and got the slot in behind the 53 for now. But the speed is there, and with the not many laps to go in this stage, he should be able to hold on to a few points.
All it's about. It's okay if you've only got 1 driver ahead of you, as long as you finish ahead of the group as a whole. And also you got to be trusting Danny Cochran to be the difference maker to split them up. Drivers getting loose behind, but across the line, that's your stage break as the yellow flag flies, and it's going to be seen. That of John Forbes, Ethan Smith, Trenton Jump, Cody Reed, Eric Stamp, Christopher Norris, then Danny Cochran, Schmitz, Logan Breakey, and GT Irizarry, as I believe Matt Upbrook, and that of Jordan, going to be seeing that of Upbrook as well as Justin Smith losing out on those bonus points.
I was able to drive it up to be the 6th position, passing Jordan Schmitz, which was one of the guys who was on the playoff line with 1 position behind Eric Stamp, which I believe was like 4 points behind me going to the race, so that helped me out a lot.
From the last season's woes, the last couple of seasons' woes, to be running as consistent as he is here tonight, good to see, as Noah Steele, and oh no, Cody Reed, hard bit back into the outside wall.
That was a huge moment right there. It was just an accordion effect. The 6 there, the 11 gets into the back of the 6 slightly, gets him loose. That checks up everybody on that bottom line. And from there, I believe it was Breakey who slid up into Reed. And just because of the check, Trenton Jump, who kind of slid up into Reed, and it shoved him to the outside wall. And right there, just a chain reaction event between 4 different drivers.
Got to keep it together for themselves. Last caution, well, we got another one as it's more drivers piling in. It's GT Irizarry as well. It's going to be some others piling in late, and there's some drivers running for the playoffs, also involved with another incident. Driver that's not in the playoffs but has a black flag as well, Cody Smith. Too many incidences, had to come into pit road, but there's a caution flag coming out, and it's Justin Smith who spins around for the 6. It's going from bad to worse for some of these drivers who are trying to make it into the playoffs. That 98 is going around, and there's the Malik Coates issue, and it gets slammed to the rear end by Joshua Freed.
Yeah, Joshua Freed coming in there late, and oh no, don't back up in front of the field. That was almost huge there.
that would have been a head shaker, as I would say, if he backed up completely.
As here's one of the drivers that of note, keep your eye out for Christopher Norris as well as Justin Smith in 12th place. Those two drivers have to stay in front of that of Upbrook as well as Schmitz. If they're in front of those two drivers, they're going to be making their way into the playoffs.
It's so tough here for Christopher Norris. I mean, he is in a good position here to make it into the playoffs. And you know he wants to be conservative here. But at Bristol, you can't be too conservative. You can get ran over from your competition behind.
And Justin Smith would be good, but if he loses any more positions, he could be in the danger zone of being passed up by that of Matt Upbrook.
He definitely is in that danger zone there, Sam. And he's right in the danger zone of the track also, because there's drivers really charging.
Matt Upbrook, he needs to stay in front of Dakota Moniz and GT Rosari, and he could be taking that final spot and making it into the playoffs.
Playoff racing is intense, man, and I tell you, it's already building up to that. We haven't even got to the playoffs, and these guys are all worried about points right now coming down to it. They want to be in with a shot to fight for that championship because it matters so much. The top 16 here is a prestigious honor just to make it.
And Justin Smith, he's losing ground. He is now moved down. He's in the bubble spot. Matt Upbrook, where he's running right now, would take that final spot and make it into the playoffs. And one of the few drivers that have actually been able to make it to this point. He's got 0 top 10 finishes for the 15, and he could be making his way into the playoffs, but keeping it side by side, cannot be involved with a wreck. Dakota Moniz is trying to make this pass, and as this aggressive playoff racing implication actions going on, coming to 10 laps to go, the battle for second is also raging with Ollie Fonseca, Joshua Altis. Our leaders are about to be almost making a wreck with how hard they're racing up front. As Nick Crawford, you can see the battle wounds of the 74, scrapes on the right, scrapes on the left. It doesn't matter, the 74 trying to move forward, as they's also going to have Noah Steele putting the pressure on as the 8 machines there as well. Christopher Norris is in with this group, but he might not want to be, because if he closer it gets, the less openings he's going to have of an exit plan if chaos reigns.
I completely agree with you, Sam. This is a dangerous scenario to put him in. He's quick right now, and he's able to make this pass, it looks like, on Steele, but he has put himself in the danger zone because it's Altis and that older tires that are holding up this group, and everybody's stacked up. Norris just cannot get involved in an incident, and he makes it into the playoffs, but he's going for it.
Oh, contact gonna be the rear bumper of the 2. Christopher Norris gonna be right in the thick of things. They're gonna be a stack 3 wide as Danny Cochran, Nick Crawford, as well as Altis gonna be side by side. This is for 3rd place. Christopher Norris, we keep the camera on him because if he gets caught up in a wreck, he could be bounced out. He was the most solidified driver, and right now he's in very much chaotic spaces. Danny Cochran almost giving contact. 5 to go. Mark Whitley loving this action. Contact. Norris holds on. Altis comes down. They're scattering, but they're going to be wrecking in front of the drivers. They keep it all straight. Somehow we're green, but now the picture falls back to Matt Upbrook as that of the 15 now in the mix of all of this.
Oh man, take a deep breath, Sam. This is getting wild here, guys. I don't know how we stayed green with that contact, but we did, and it's going to come down here between Upbrook and other drivers here. If they can gain points right now, it's all on the line.
Right now, Matt Upbrook, Christopher Norris, they are in positions to make it into the playoffs with 2 to go. But if Matt Upbrook loses, gets into contact, caution, Cedric Hunter, and we're going to overtime.
Oh man, this is not what you wanted to see for Christopher Norris, Matt Upbrook. They're in such good spots. The yellow flag flies, and right now, everybody is just saying, we got to do this again. Really?
And towards the end of the race, small strategy played out. I was able to save my right front, being a tenth or 2 faster than drivers ahead of me, with a late yellow and some contact with another driver, which was a result of some air being pushed on netcode on my right front. It didn't cause any damage besides some spoiler, which sometimes can be an issue, but tonight it was not.
This is how overtime works. It is 2 laps. It is a green, white, checkered. If we get a caution under the first lap, we will go into attempt number 2. If we get the white flag, the gloves are off. No flag except for the checkered will finish out this race. Mark Whitley, Ollie Fonseca going to be the front 2. Then it's going to be Nick Crawford, then of Christopher Norris, Danny Cochran, John Forbes, Jonathan Smith, Joshua Altis, Ethan Smith, Trenton Jump, First attempt in overtime. We're green. Mark Whitley, Ollie Fonseca already going to be taking off, but it's Ollie Fonseca with a little bit of a lazy start, and it's the 38th going to the outside. Almost was trying to go for the lead down in turn number 3. Mark Whitley looking for the white flag, and it's going to strike. It's the Erhardt Productions white flag as they go down in turn number 1. Everyone's holding steady. They're holding their breath. A little bit of contact, going to be back for 5th place, but Mark Whitley, win number 4 in hand, as that of the 77 dominates. Give him another win for the amount of Mark Whitley. They're ranking deeper behind. Justin Smith going to be involved. Upbrook survives. It's Christopher Norris, Matt Upbrook taking the final spots. Mark Whitley, dominant fashion, gets to victory lane. And let's head down there to get the thoughts from the driver that gets his 4th win of the season. Mark, it's Sam and Zach up at the booth. Congratulations on another win this season. How are you feeling after that one?
Well, considering how everything went, I was just excited and pumped.
4 wins in the regular season, that's the most I've had, I think, in this league in the regular season in any of the other 2 seasons. So finishing the regular season off with back-to-back wins, I say that's probably my favorite part of the season so far is getting hot right for the playoffs, and hopefully we can carry it into the playoffs like we did last season. Last season was one of the better playoff runs I've had in any league, so hopefully we can continue that and maybe do even better this season.
And I was able to come home after passing some drivers for P3, which is a great position going into the playoffs because it means we got some nice points and guaranteed locking myself in. What was your favorite part of the regular season? Well, honestly, there was no favorite part for me. I've had a real up and down season where it hasn't felt like it's been great. I mean, I had the race at Fuji just a few weeks ago that was awesome. It was like my best finishing position of the season besides the P3 here at Bristol, which was also great to have. And then Port Royal, I finished, I believe, P17 after late end contact. And then going back and looking, I mean, it hasn't been a great season at all. I mean, looking at the stats, 2 top 5s and 5 top 10s, which, yeah, that's pretty good. But, I mean, looking at it, it's been an up and down season. Fortunately, I have learned a lot. I mean, the incidents, I used to have to be the #1 incident point champion in season 1, but fortunately I was able to cut that down. I mean, I'm just hoping we can survive the playoffs.
We go to 3rd place as we've got that of Christopher Norris with us. Norris, you come away 3rd. I gotta say, us up at the booth, we were freaking out because we knew you were in the good. You kept on pushing forward, coming with your best finish of the season. Man, how are you feeling after that?
Honestly, it's ecstatic. I mean, I can't believe that happened. I mean, we had a terrible one in qualifying. Practice was okay, but I mean, in qualifying, I just slammed that wall, and luckily we were able to get it back together. The truck was fixed and put on a good show.
What were some of the surprises throughout this season that maybe you were feeling about either yourself or other drivers?
Not so much for anyone else. A surprise for me is that I haven't gotten a top 10 this season. I've gotten close. I've had like a couple 11th place finishes and a couple 13th or 14th finishes, but I've been so close so many times. So hopefully I'll be able to, get a top 10 one of these days.
On my own personal level, I think the bad luck of our team, Snowy Desert Racing, is just really surprising that Cedric and Norris have had such a hard time with getting caught up in wrecks, whether they created it themselves or just got caught up in someone else's shenanigans. So that would be my biggest surprise personally, but there were some drivers that did pull off some wins that pretty surprising. It's pretty cool.
I guess the surprise of Cedric not racing the playoffs, that's I didn't see that coming. I don't want to say that I mean, I don't want to be happy about it because, you never want to be happy that one of your competitors is, not going to be there. You want to prove that you're better than them, or you prove that, you can go out there and beat them in a race, but definitely probably improves our playoff odds. He was one of the faster guys all year, so it should be interesting to see how the playoffs play out now. That's a tongue twister.
Cedric doesn't have a win. That's also another surprise. He's not finishing the season.
Surprises this season. I'm surprised to see Norris up there as much as he was. Congrats to him. He's improved a lot, especially since season 1. So I'm really happy for him. That's awesome. Happy to see Josh Cannata come. I like racing around him. He's a cool dude. I've been talking to him off and on throughout the season. He's pretty cool.
What was some goals, and how are you feeling coming into this season for yourself?
What were you feeling coming into the season? What was your goal? Well, of course my goal was to get a win. Maybe one, maybe two. It's not, I mean, I'm not the best to drive out there, so getting a win may not be the easiest, but it was my number one goal to hopefully capture another win after getting my first win the last season before. And of course, make it into the playoffs.
Firstly, my goal for the season was to get a win. That hasn't happened so far, but, you know, it could come around one of these days. Also, a goal was to make it into the playoffs, which goal complete. What was I coming into this season feeling like? Feeling confident. Last season, necessarily, I didn't do much. I mean, I made it into the playoffs. I didn't get very far, but other than that, I felt like I just kind of had like mediocre finishes at best. And I wanted to get better finishes this season. That's pretty much it. That's all I got.
What were your thoughts on the schedule as a whole, with it being so different from each season that comes through?
I thought it was very unique. Some of the tracks we went to, Motegi, Fuji, the Port Royal, it was just so different from any other schedule I've ever been on, even for in here. I enjoyed it, going to tracks I didn't even own. Pretty much all three of those I bought either the night before or the night of, right before the race. So they were all fun. It helps that we finished good at 2 of the 3. Third one we got wrecked, so just different bag of results. I thought it was pretty interesting. I appreciated it. I'm glad it wasn't the same old NASCAR schedule going to 10,000 super speedways and the same old mile and a half. So I appreciate the league trying something different and thinking outside the box with the schedule. It was a breath of fresh air, honestly.
A lot of the tracks that we went to, I was somewhat excited for. Kind of just disappointed in the lack of short tracks. I was kind of hoping for some more.
And those 16 drivers, you see one of them on screen, the driver with the most points, Mark Whitley, into the playoffs. Then you got Nick Crawford, then John Forbes, Trenton Jump, Ethan Smith, Cody Reed, Logan Breakey, Danny Cochran to fight for his championship. He's going to be able to defend as he's made it into the playoffs. Noah Steele, as well as Ollie Fonseca, GT Rosari, Dakota Moniz, Joshua Cannata, going to be one of our 2 rookies that have made it into the playoffs, as well as Tyler Dengler. Dengler makes it in. 0 top 5s, 0 top 10s. He's going to be the biggest underdog coming into this playoffs. We'll see how well the 19 can confirm. Then the 2 drivers that made it in based off tonight, Christopher Norris, and the second of our rookies, Matt Upbrook, the 16 drivers that will race next week for the playoffs.
You're part of the 16 drivers that have made the playoffs. How are you feeling heading into the first round?
So the first round I am extremely confident in. Obviously I'm pretty good at road courses. That's my strong suit. And I think the Daytona road course is probably my second best track besides Watkins Glen, especially Daytona road course. I've been looking forward to that race since, we ran there in season 1 because I love that track and we haven't run since.
Honestly, I expect to perform pretty decently in the first round. Feeling confident going to the Daytona road course. Got tons and tons of laps turned there in the last couple years, just running 24 hours and all that. I know it's not the same type of vehicle, but I just feel like being familiar with the track and knowing how deep you can drive in, because this isn't our first time going here in the trucks either, so we have a little bit of experience in the trucks.
And for the first round, I expect to make it easily. I want to perform, get out of the gate strong. I really think a win is just how you show that, show your competitor, you're competitive. You're going to be a factor in this championship by just getting out there and showing everyone how it's done.
Daytona Road Course and Homestead are 2 of probably my worst tracks. I hated Daytona Road Course. I've always said that they shouldn't run there. It's one of the worst road courses that I would rather run at the Nürburgring. It's only famous because of the name.
Going into the first round, I feel pretty comfortable. I think having that win is going to be enough of a buffer to kind of fall back on. The first round is the Daytona road course, Homestead road courses I'm comfortable at, and Daytona road course is one of my favorites. So I have no worries there. I'm confident that I'd be able to come out of there with a strong finish.
I mean, like I said before, I expect to run up front, and if I don't, I'm going to be disappointed because I just have such high expectations of myself, and I think especially the first round, just go out there and top 5s, top 10s. That's all we need. We should have a points buffer where all the bone switch from the regular season. So, just go out there, top 5 should be good.
I know the first race is going to be a road course at Daytona. I know I guess I would be expected to do well there, but every road course is different. This is a roval, so it's not like Fuji, but it's gonna take some practice. I haven't been there in a while, but we'll see what happens there, and hopefully we can pull off another win. Just cruise through the second race, which I can't remember what it is right now, but I guess that means I just really need to focus on that first race and do well. And then, if anything, can practice for the second race of the round and hopefully just get in on points at least. I know we got some bonus points, and that should help us a little bit.
Yeah, so the first round, looking like Daytona and Homestead, I think I'll be fine. I'm good on the road courses, and of course we all watched what happened at Homestead in season 2, so I'm feeling pretty confident going in there. I don't think there's no worries that we're not going to advance. I think we have plenty of stage points, and we got through with a lot of stage wins this year and a lot of bonus points, so hopefully those help us out going into the first round.
Well, thankfully in the first round we have quite a few bonus points to fall back on. No race wins, but we have quite a few good stage results, so I'm not too worried about the first round. There's a lot of solid drivers here, but I think we have what it takes to at least make it through the first round. After that is when it starts getting a little sketchy.
How do I expect to perform in the first round? I'm hoping I can finally get some practice here for the Daytona road course. I had a fantastic streak of top 10 finishes at all the road courses since I joined the league, and then Fuji happened, thanks Sam. But yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with the Daytona road course. I think I can just get a solid finish there. Definitely want to practice, especially that last that NASCAR chicane on the front stretch, that god-awful corner. So we'll see what we can do there.
How do you expect to perform in the first round? Well, the first round would be the best one for me. I mean, we have Homestead and Daytona Road, which Daytona Road is a road course, and I seem to be kind of dominant in the series with road courses. I can't get myself a win. I don't believe so quite yet at a road course, but I can guarantee myself a top 10, top 5 as long as I stay away from other drivers, just because consistency. So hopefully I can still come out and do that.
Well, honestly, I don't expect to do very well this first round, but I'm hoping to just barely slip by into the round of 12. Honestly, the 2 first races are Daytona Road Course, and then to finish it off at Homestead. Not very good at Daytona Road, so it's more going to be a lot of practice that I'm going to have to do in order to make sure that I can actually get, a comfortable, buffer into the round of 12.
We got the Daytona Road Course, so we're trying to stack up points for that, because that won't go too well. We're just gonna be driving around. I mean, I know the place, never driven it in a truck, so that's just gonna be a points day and try to get our best, and hopefully we're in the top 12 coming out of that, and just do well at Homestead. Another mile and a half fits our driving style. The tires are wear. Love tracks like that, and it has all throttle time, so it's not a full throttle track. It takes talent to be there. We'll just try to do our best at Daytona Road Course and then just show up for Homestead. That first round is definitely the hardest for us, and with being the round of 16, that's helpful. I hope we make it through. God, I hate road courses. It'll be all right. We'll figure it out. I don't want to wish any bad luck on the competition, but I kind of do, because we're gonna need the luck. We're gonna need guys to have a bad day.
Going into Homestead, that's another track I feel pretty confident in, and we should probably get a top 10 in as well.
Good, and Homestead is also one of my best oval tracks.
It's going to be an interesting couple of races, and Homestead I've just never been good at. I'm just kind of hoping to survive them both. And
Homestead is not one of my better ovals, but I almost won. I almost won there 2 seasons ago. I'm confident about the first round. I think it's not going to be easy, but I think it'll be, if I just do my thing, it should be pretty comfortable first round, as long as nothing out of my control happens that cost me some finishes.
And then Homestead. Homestead is definitely one of my favorite mile and a halves. I think I can definitely perform there, and maybe even have a shot at winning. I had a shot my first season, ISRC season 2, where I got my first podium, the season finale. So we'll see what happens there.
Homestead, I'm not the greatest at, but I also have some teammates that have raced there and also won there the last season before. So hopefully I'll be able to come out on top and capture, not a win I would say, but a top 5 finish to help advance myself into the round of 12.
And then Homestead, I've kind of had, mixed decisions or mixed choices and finishes. I don't really know. To try to get, a good finish at Homestead. Honestly, it's just it's going to be a first tough round for me, or a tough first round.
So we're really looking forward to this playoffs. I just love some of the tracks on the schedule here this year. I think it's going to be in my strong suit, so looking forward to it. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. You guys are in for a show.
I'd say for the first round, I expect to perform well and hopefully well enough to squeak us into the second round.
Yeah, round 1, I'm pretty confident getting through, and hopefully I can snag a win.
Kind of backdoor my way into the round of 12.
Looking forward to it and excited to go race for a championships.
From then on, just limit the mistakes. Just no mistakes, please. And we'll just try not to get caught up in other people's messes. I can't stress it enough. Consistency. It's all I'm after right now, and at least until the round of 12, and we'll go from there. But that's my main goal, is to make it past this first round, because I need it after what happened last season. That sucked.
I expect to perform pretty well in the first round. I mean, I'm not saying I may get a win or anything, but I'm always going to go for it. I'm always going to do my best, and it's playoff time. So, it's time to make moves. It's time to shine. I think a lot of the lack of wins, that I've had last season and this season, has just been from the negativity and just my drive to do it through all that as well. People joke at me because I don't have a championship. I'm here to race. I'm lucky to be racing. Some people don't have an opportunity to do this, so I'm just happy to be doing it. So, if people want to, heckle me for it, then that's fine. I don't really care. It's it's not going to change my life one bit. I'm just excited to be racing, and I'm hoping to make it to the Final Four, and I'm hoping this is my season.
I'm Tyler Dengler, driver of the number 19 Fletcher Floristry Tundra for Larson Line Racing, and you're watching The Long Run. And that's all I'm going to do. Please save video. Please save.
All right, well, I've been Josh Cannata. Happy to have... I'm bad at these things, man. I got through the whole thing without stuttering. I can't finish it now. I'm Josh Cannata. Welcome. You guys are going to Norris me during the credits, aren't you? I've been Josh Cannata. This has been The Long Run, and hoping to see you guys in a couple of weeks' time. Good enough? Yeah, I just realized I got my little Dale Jarrett die cast. It's nothing compared to Cody's collection. I'm honestly jealous. I'm about to have to steal some of them.
Hello everybody, I'm Cody Reed, and welcome to The Long Run Season 2 on Freaky Fast Broadcast.
We can do it once, we can do it again, and I'm so excited to be able to do that again. Matter of fact, what's this coming up from behind my monitor? Why? It's the Season 3 Championship Trophy! How'd that get there? What's that? You want a brother? We're ready to run it back. Alright. That's a nice little fun bit there, wasn't it?
Alright, here we go. Hi, Sam.
That is it for my questions, and I'll see y'all in the next one.
Alright, hope that was good, Sam. Thanks for doing this, buddy.
Alright, here we go, Sam. ISRC The Long Run. Oof. Hold on. Let me pull up the schedule for the first round because I don't remember what it is. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So hopefully we see more of me through the playoffs this season. Peace out.
Bye-bye.
I think that's the last question. Please send the video answering these questions as soon as possible. Oh yeah, happy birthday, Stan.